Hello and welcome to your weekly reading with myself, Rev.ArleneC, and this is for the week of Sunday, May 4th, 2025 till Saturday, May 10th, 2025. So we have the Two of Wands, the Ace of Swords, the Knight of Pentacles, and then the Two of Pentacles, and at the bottom of the deck was the Three of Pentacles. So it feels that right now, this week is a time of, it feels like we are waiting, but it's because we are being asked to kind of, I guess it's, we're in a time of creation, right? But it's a time of severing what no longer serves us. And it's about really being honest with yourself, which is why the Ace of Swords is here, right? Where it's like, it's time for us to be honest with ourselves and about what, why we keep things and people and certain situations in our life, and and realizing that it's not about them, this is about us. So when we talk about boundaries, it's not about boundaries, right? Boundaries, I find sometimes, is not the best frequency word, because it's not about boundaries, it's about our own sanity, right? So this is about us supporting our well-being, right? Our sanity, our peace. So instead of using the words like boundaries, which can kind of give off an energy of defensiveness or combativeness, being combative, sorry, oh my gosh, I couldn't speak today, and division, it's not about that. It's about you unifying within yourself. And, we see here also with the Two of Wands is, the person here has, like, it looks like a world, like a globe in their hand. And it is, right? You are the creator. You hold it in your hand. What are you ready to create? Because I do feel that we are in this space of like a marker in our blueprint, right? So we're in this marker, and we're at the point of, like, again, in those old, books I used to read as a child, of those choose your own adventure books, right? So now we're at that page where it's asking you, are you going to page, 25 to continue your journey? Or are you going to page 37, right? And to see where your journey takes you. And I feel that's where we are. But it is very much about cutting through the bullshit, right? And it's about being honest with ourselves and understanding that when we step up for ourselves, and it's not about stepping up for yourself in a way of being selfish or anything, because often that is what people will say to us, right? Because they don't like our change. It's not about them. Again, like we said, this is nothing to do with them. And people are, not everybody's going to agree or understand where you are, but understanding that this is not about taking anything personally. It has nothing to do with you. People are always coming to you from their level of understanding and with their own projections. So as you're working through this, understanding that it's, maybe it's not about just like forging ahead, and, like taking no prisoners kind of thing. The Knight of Pentacles is a slow moving knight, very methodical. He really, he or she is somebody who, will make the pros and cons lists of stuff. And it feels like this is something that maybe it's also that you need to do. And I feel for a lot of people too, it is about decluttering, right? It's about letting things go, donating things, putting things to the garbage, just that no longer, if you haven't used it in a year, why is it still in your home, right? So it's a lot of different aspects of how we are now bringing into our lives something that's simpler. And, it's like I always think of KISS, right? Keep it simple, stupid. And this is what's coming through with this. And it's interesting that it ends on the Two of Pentacles, because you have the 2 and 2. And it is all about balance, right? It's finding that balance for you. And that as you start to make room, like as you, take away these things that don't serve you and aren't, keeping you in a space of peace, as you start to do that, then you start to find that balance, right? You start to see, that your peace is priceless. And that as you're doing this, then you make space for new people and things to come into your life that will support you and keep you elevated, and you keep them elevated, right? Like they bring the best in you and you bring the best in them. And I feel that for many people, they don't have that in their life. They have people who are more, people in situations, even jobs, that it's about the other person always, or the other situation, where often your own needs are not met. But again, understanding that it's not somebody else's job to do that. It's up to us always, right? We always need to take responsibility and accountability for how we allow ourselves to be treated by others and how we show up for ourselves. So if you're mad because so-and-so, doesn't do this or doesn't do that, the question is why have you allowed it to happen so long, right? So, and it's also about that honesty with yourself and allowing people to show up as who they are. Often we always get fixated on the potential of someone, or, I see this in someone. We will project our own stuff onto people and not allow them to show up as who they are. And this is something else that we are having to also do with ourselves, right? It's about meeting ourselves right now where we are, and then taking ourselves to a different dimensional and vibrational space so that we can create our new reality. And that is the message I have for this week, surrounding you all in love. Until next time, thank you for being here. Have a wonderful week.